Welcome to the Vanilla Bean Cafe here in Pomfret, Connecticut. We're here all by ourselves, all by our lonesomes. We have all the chocolate in the case to ourselves.
See you later. It's been great.
But we have to do a concert
Oh,
first.
that's right. Okay.
So anyway, we're going to sing for you today, and we hope you enjoy it.
I did come upon a river of tears, the grief of my sisters and brothers. It had grown so deep I could not cross over to continue on my journey. It was wild and black, and it threw out a spray that stained my garments blood red. I was filled with fear, I was filled with pain, and I thought I would never cross over. I did build a raft from the bones of my mother who had drowned in that river of sorrow. I did bind those bones, one to another, with the ropes of the captives now free. I did steer that raft with a long straight pole from a tree that my father had planted. And I set off into that treacherous flow with a trembling hope in my heart. And as I crossed that angry stream, I looked in the water all swirling, and it showed me the faces of the ones I had killed by refusing to fight for their freedom. And it showed me the faces of the ones who had died while trying to end the struggles. And their voices cried out, "Get to the shore and continue the work we've begun." And the water it dragged, and the water it pulled, and the pain it threatened to drown me. But I held my course, bore down on the pole from the tree that my father had planted. And I fell exhausted onto the shore as the raft splintered all into pieces. Then a smile came to my weary face, for I heard those voices singing songs like tears, songs like rivers. I have carried them all on my journey, and it's these I'll sing until that river runs as dry as the bones of my mother. And it's these I'll sing until that river's but a valley where sorrow once raged. Yeah, River of Tears. That came from a dream long ago, right? I just woke up and wrote the images down right out of the dream. Can we have chocolate yet?
No,
Oh, okay.
not yet. As we were singing that, I was thinking about Hurricane Sally, of course, named after me. Just thinking of the pictures I saw of the flooding that was going on, and thinking of that in the river, and amazing images. Well, I have, during COVID, been working very hard, along with engineer Mark Thayer, on a new album called Old Friends I Never Met. And 99.9% of all the songs, I think except one, are about people or by people or referring to people that I don't know. But I feel like they're good friends now that I've been singing these songs for so long. And this next song was written for John Lewis when he was still with us, just after he had led the sit-down strike for gun legislation in Congress. And I took the words from the speech that he gave there in Congress that day, and the first verse is really all of his words, as is the chorus. But the rest of it is mine, and we'd love to have you sing along. There comes a time when you have to say something. There comes a time to make a little noise. There comes a time to end the silence. There comes a time to raise your voice. There comes a time when you have to move your feet. There comes a time to step into the fray. There comes a time for extraordinary action. There comes a time for a safer day. And now is the time is now is the time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way. And now is the time is now is the time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way, to make a way out of no way. There comes a time to be stronger than the bullets. There comes a time to be louder than the guns. There comes a time to shout for the victims. There comes a time to right those wrongs. There comes a time to hold the hand of your neighbor. There comes a time to end an endless war. There comes a time to turn tears to action. There comes a time to say no more. And now is the time is now is the time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way. And now is the time is now is the time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way, to make a way out of no way. There comes a time to say no to the NRA. There comes a time to ban automatic guns. There comes a time to keep guns out of angry hands. There comes a time to get it done. There comes a time when you say we've had enough. There comes a time to march in the streets. There comes a time for us to protest. There comes a time to save a heartbeat. And now is the time is now is the time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way. And now is the time is now is the time is now is the time. Now is the time to get in the way, to make a way out of no way.
All right.
Yeah, some of you who live in our neighborhood may have heard me sing that song over at the Quiet Corner Shouts meeting. We have this lovely little organization, Quiet Corner Shouts, mostly women, but not all, and we are all busy trying to figure out ways to make the world a better place.
Yes, it takes a lot of doing these days.
It does.
Well, continuing our concert here at the Holy Moly Graham Vanilla Bean. John Lewis, of course, embodied tenacity. Started as a young man and stuck right with it his whole life, and right up till the end. And this next song was inspired by another dream. By another dream that happened last winter. I was actually in the midst of a fever. It may well have been COVID. And it was a fever dream. And there was some train I was down in Florida at the time. And I woke up and I grabbed a notebook and went into a quiet part of the room so I wouldn't disturb Mark, and just started scribbling and scrawling as long as I could. And it was like a visitation from one of the ghosts of the suffragists. You know, I'd been thinking about it being the year of the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment. And so it's really from her point of view. And there are a couple of people, I was just talking about Ella Baker recently, who started as a suffragist and made it through to the Voting Rights Act. Another person like John Lewis who fought their whole life. And there's this wonderful quote from a woman named Daisy Elizabeth Adams Lampkin, who also started as a suffragist. She was an African-American woman and lived to 1965. So she lived to see the Voting Rights Act passed. And she said, in her struggle, she said, "You cannot be neutral." She said this back in the day of the 19th Amendment. You must either join with us who believe in the bright future or be destroyed by those who would turn us back to a dark past.
And then there's Susan B. Anthony, who said, failure is impossible.
Yeah. And the idea that women didn't get the vote. Women took the vote. Women in white. Chains of fear, there's no more need, my dear. We are so very near to the finish line. We were beaten in the streets, we were thrown in jail, mocked and abused, but to no avail. Because the women in white kept marching for the right to vote. Yeah, the women in white kept standing for the right to vote. We tried the middle way, talked to those men every day, but they just sent us away with a shake of their heads. What else could we have done? This was for everyone, our daughters and our sons, and long after we're dead. We were beaten in the streets, we were thrown in jail, mocked and abused, but to no avail. Because the women in white kept marching for the right to vote. Yeah, the women in white kept standing for the right to vote. Women in white, women in white. 100 years ago, we won that right. Women today, there's still no ERA. Can you find a way to be the new women in white? Well, that train is bound somewhere, and now it's you that must dare to journey all the way there with our precious gains. Please don't give up the fight to save our hard-won rights, for there are those who put us right back in chains. We were beaten in the streets, we were thrown in jail, mocked and abused, but to no avail. Because the women in white kept marching for the right to vote. Yeah, the women in white kept standing for the right to vote. Women in white, women in white. Years ago we won that right. Women worldwide, I see a shifting tide. When you're standing side by side, the new women in white. Ooh, I heard a train in the night. I heard you look women in white. I saw those dresses of white. I saw those dresses of white. Women in 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 white. All right.
That's a new one. And it's so exciting to sing a new song, putting out a new idea out there. I have another song. This is another song that should have been on this album, but we beat it to it. We put it on our We Are Welcomed album instead. And about another woman from northeastern Connecticut.
I'm just going to move this down. Hey, could you start heating up some clam chowder for us?
Yeah. There's nobody back there.
Oh,
The only
it's
one.
a self-serve, right?
Barry's the only one here. The vanilla bean is open, though, I have to tell you.
And open, as of this year, for 30 years. They've been
That's right.
They've been serving the community and being a home for many musicians traveling all over the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a treasure.
It's a stopping in point for most musicians that come east. And we thank you, Vanilla Bean, for your great support over the years. So this song is about Prudence Crandall, who ran a school for, as she put it, Misses of Color, young Misses of Color, in Canterbury, Connecticut. She was hired by the townspeople of Canterbury to start a school there for their children, but one day Sarah Harris came to school. She was an African-American woman from Norwich, and Prudence Crandall, a Quaker and an abolitionist, said, of course you can come and study here. But then she was the only one who was there to study. And the townspeople gave her all kinds of grief, which you'll see in the song. The song is based on a letter that's in the Prudence Crandall Museum, which, by the way, her house is now a museum run by the state of Connecticut. And across the street, where her nemesis, Andrew Judson, used to live, the house is gone. It's now a parking lot for the Dunkin' Donuts. Sometimes there are just desserts.
Yeah, Prudence wouldn't have thought of it that way, but yeah.
No, she wouldn't have, but I do. So you can sing along with the chorus, which goes, I know that justice will reign. I know that peace will prevail. I know that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. Here I sit in my 83rd year. I write this letter with ease. The sacrifice of time you have made has brought me solace and peace. I never asked for charity, only redress for the past. But my loss of home and livelihood could not dim my faith in God. I knew that justice would reign. I knew that peace would prevail. I knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. When Sarah Harris came to my door so many years ago, I never dreamed a town could scheme to hurt a person so. Teaching misses of color would become a state offense. I could not obey such an unjust law. It defied all common sense. I knew that justice would reign. I knew that peace would prevail. I knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. Well, you remember the townspeople's acts of slander and abuse. My well was poisoned, my house set on fire. No church nor shop could we use. My students suffered sorely, but they held their heads up high. Though every step brought taunts and jeers whenever we passed by, they knew that justice would reign. They knew that peace would prevail. They knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. I gladly passed a night in The papers all around the world reported my trial by jury. When the black law passed, the bells did toll in a church where we could not go. This news of a just recompense I greet with tears of joy. I knew that justice would reign. I knew that peace would prevail. I knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one. I knew that justice would reign. I knew that peace would prevail. I knew that all humankind must learn to love one another as one.
Oh, I love that song.
Thanks.
So fun to do that again.
I love the way you added those little things in there.
Oh,
those were new.
The frills?
The little frills.
Yeah.
Yeah, little frills and trills. Lovely.
The thrills, the little fills and thrills. Right. We do what we can in these days. COVID.
Whoopsie.
I mean, just getting to sing with somebody live and in person, as many of you experience.
We were smart to pod from the beginning.
I'm doing
know?
slow, steady first.
I know,
so,
but I'm
you're just getting ready.
tuning, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's really important. I heard somebody kind of referring to it as what they miss about actual gatherings is a sharing air. You know, the sharing of the air.
Yes.
It's almost like a communion. You know. So I hope that wherever you are, you've got somebody to sing with, and not just with us, but with somebody live and human in your space, in your air space.
But if you don't, do sing with us. At least
if
it'll
we're
help.
the best you can do, we'll take it. Well, here's a song that was inspired by local history, but it's more recent history. It's my history, and it happened just down the street at Day Kimball Hospital. Gosh, it's over 2 years ago now. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Or going on 2 years. And getting ready for a trip to Florida, I was up getting firewood and dropped a large piece of dense oak firewood upon my foot. And in the morning, we went to the emergency room just to make sure nothing was broken before we left for our trip. And I was waiting for the x-ray, and a doctor came in, and I assumed she was a doctor. She didn't say anything. I was kind of in a little bit of an altered state, but she had a stethoscope and a white coat, good sign. And she came up and put her stethoscope on my heart and just kind of looked me in the eye and said with this very kind of serious deadpan face, "You have a slow, steady heart." And she walked out of the room. And was she a doctor? Or was she an angel? Or what, did this really happen? I know Mark was there, so Mark saw it happen. And
there were witnesses.
So I don't know, something had to happen with that. I didn't know right at the time, but a couple months later, this song came out. And so I wouldn't advise going to the emergency room to be inspired to write poetry or music, but again, I'll take what I can get. Slow, steady, slow, steady, slow, steady, slow, steady heart. That's what the lady doctor said to me when I showed up for an emergency. It was a pretty nasty injury. The pain and swelling I could feel and see. Hoping what I heard, see, was you have a slow, steady heart. What does it mean to have a steady heart when our whole world seems to be falling apart? What does it mean that it is beating slow in spite of pain and everything I know? Oh, it's a mighty mystery. I have a slow, steady heart. thing we really need to hear slips unexpectedly into our ear, where time and place have not prepared us for the very news to make our spirits soar. But here's breaking news for free. I have a slow, steady heart. Slow, steady, slow, steady, slow, steady heart. My swollen foot will take some time to heal. Still not right. But that dear woman helped me keep it real. She said almost tenderly, you have a slow, steady heart. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Sing that with us. Slow and steady, slow and steady. May you have a slow and steady heart. Slow, steady heart.
Oh, I love
the first
that.
time Sally and I tried to sing that together, I mean, she just jumped on that amazing harmony right off the bat. Like, we didn't have to, it was just there.
it
Like
was
it had
there,
been waiting
yeah.
to pop out.
I
That's the
just
nice
love
thing
the
about
song.
singing together for 40 years.
Yeah. These things are hiding in there somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of singing together for 40 years, I believe it was the first time that I met Claudia Schmidt in 1980 that I heard her sing this song. And I had been learning it, but once I knew she knew it, I didn't learn it. Anyway, I said, okay, that's her song. But later on, I realized, you know what? I live on the edge of a former cranberry bog. I get to learn this song too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we both dredged it up from our pasts, and we are going to sing for you the Cranberry Bogs, which I believe Dylan Buston
He put the
said it.
music to, he found the words, he was at his mom's house and found a book of folk songs.
Folk songs out of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And there is a melody to it there.
Yeah, but he made his own to make it work. And I mean, we like the idea because both having spent time in Wisconsin, formative years, and we happen to know that actually more cranberries are harvested in Wisconsin
Than in Massachusetts.
than out here in
Yeah.
Massachusetts. It's just a little fun fact for those of us who come from the Midwest.
That's because they stopped harvesting them behind our house.
I guess that was it. That was it all the way.
That tipped the
So this is a wonderful little song about that time of year, and it takes place like in mid-central Wisconsin. If you look at a map, we'll mention the town of Mercer in the song. You can look it up and find it yourself, and you can join us with this wonderful chorus.
That's right. We're going to sing the chorus first, and then you just join right in.
Have you ever been down to the cranberry bogs? Some of the houses are hewn out of logs. The walls, they are bored, sawn from the pine that grows in the country called the cranberry clime. You ask me to sing, and I'll sing you a song of how in the marshes we all get along. Bohemian and Irish and Yankees and the Dutch. In the cranberry bogs you will find the whole clutch. Have you ever been down to the cranberry bogs? Some of the houses are hewn out of logs. The walls, they are bored, sawn from the pine that grows in the country called the cranberry clime. When the hay is cut and the wheat it is stacked. Cranberries ripe and our old clothes we'll pack, and it's down to the marshes to rake we will go, and dance to the music of the fiddle and bow. Have you ever been down to the cranberry bogs? Some of the houses are hewn out of logs, the walls they are board, sawn from the pine that grows in the country called the cranberry climb. So it's all down to Mercer, our tickets to buy, and to all our families we will bid goodbye. For fun and for profit, our plans to reside for 3 or 4 weeks in a cranberry climb. Have you ever been down to the cranberry bogs? Some of the houses are hewn out of logs, the walls they are board, sawn from the pine that grows in the country called the cranberry climb. All day in the marshes our rakes we will pull. We feel the best when our boxes are full. And in the evening when we're all tired out, we'll wish the cranberries had never give out. Have you ever been down to the cranberry bog? Some of the houses are hewn out of log, the walls they are board, sawn from the pine that grows in the country called the cranberry climb, that grows in the country called the cranberry climb.
I just love this. I love the way, I just love to imagine people going out, you know, the way people go out now to go blueberry picking and stuff.
Oh, right.
You know, that people would go out there with the rakes. And if you've ever seen the pictures of the cranberry harvest, it's really quite amazing. I mean, when they're talking about the rakes, they're just raking them off the bushes. But now what they do is they flood the whole area.
Yeah.
And then they rake with these monster rakes. They rake,
Yeah.
and they have booms around them.
But it's not the kind of social event.
No, that's what I love about this, and
Yeah.
and that's what we're missing now. So that's
Yeah.
why we sang this for you
Right.
today, so you could have a little social event. Well, this next one is not about a social event, sad to say. We have a mutual friend, Bill Harley, who's a fantastic storyteller. He does a lot of work for children, but he's currently making a very wonderful grown-up album, which when it comes out, you'll have to look for it. And he, in the process, this song dropped in his lap. It was one of those.
He's doing Mr. Fox?
Oh, I skipped 2. Never mind. We're not doing that one yet. Forget that introduction. We'll get there later. This one is the scariest song we know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Definitely.
even more so now. Even more so now. And
Yeah, I'd like to send this one out to my Song a Day Keeps the Virus Away fans, because the other day I sang this for them without harmony and told them that they would have to come and hear the really spooky harmonies that make it even spookier.
And this is based on an old folktale.
Right?
And obviously, this has been a problem that's been with us for a long time.
Poland Yarnell wrote this. Outside Mr. Fox's garden, 3 maids playing with a golden ball. Jenny threw it up,
And Susan caught it.
Mary bounced it over the wall. The wall is high, Mr. Fox has a little red eye. In she ran to fetch her ball again. The garden gate stood open wide. Then it silently shut and locked behind her. Mr. Fox stood just inside. The wall is high, his smile is cruel and his eyes are sly. He says, I'll keep your golden ball, Miss Mary. It's I shall have it, and here you will stay. You will keep my house
and be my servant. Never stir out for a year and a day. The wall is high, never a soul passes near nor by. 3 strange things he did forbid her: never to touch his iron box, never go near the 13th bedroom, nor near the bed, said Mr. Fox. The wall is high, Mary, don't you dare ask why. Spring and summer passed like shadows. She watched the green leaves fade and fall. She walked alone in the empty garden. Mr. Fox said nothing at all. The wall is high, the grasses shiver and the tall trees sigh. Mary, she rose up one morning, spied an iron box on the shelf, but of all the rooms of Mr. Fox's bedrooms there were only 12. The wall is high, Mary, don't you peep and pry. One day while Mr. Fox went walking, in that box she found a key. It fitted the door she'd never unfastened, and when she opened it, what did she see? The wall is high, the key said run, and the door said fly. In Mr. Fox's 13th bedroom, a naked sword hung on the wall. In a silver bowl on the bed's black counterpane, there she spied her golden ball. The wall is high, the bed said come, and the sword said die. But in she ran to fetch her ball again, to snatch it from that great black bed. Out jumped Mr. Fox and leaped at her. His teeth gleamed white and his eyes flashed red. The wall is high. Outside Mr. Fox's garden, 3 maids playing with a golden ball. Jenny threw it up and Susan caught it. Polly bounced it over the wall. Blah. Why is it we like scary songs? I think there's a truth in it that if we're scared about it, we're paying attention.
yeah. We won't
Our senses are honed.
get involved with it. Well,
Here's a song about a different kind of guy, a different kind of feller.
a good one to follow the scary song.
Yeah. And this is a song that we first sang together, maybe the first time we were on Prairie Home Companion, right? With
Yeah.
Jan Mara, sang a second
Yeah,
harmony
it was
part.
the first time.
Yeah, I think so. So this goes way back as well, and it's just such a fun song.
I learned it from Mary Gick, who was from Toronto at the time, and it's written by Canada's Woody Guthrie. His name is Wade Hemsworth. He also wrote the Black Fly song and many, many others. And the chorus, you're welcome to sing. And when you're done with this program, go look up the Film Board of Canada's version of this song, which is a wonderful animation with the McGarrigle
McGarrigles,
sisters,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
singing on it. You may ask any girl in the parish around, what say I'm not that it's business, but I love to waltz with the log driver, pouring down. That log's to steadily down. What the logs please complete, please both. I away. Waltz to the murder. Oh, their manners are fine. Their feet are like clay, and none has the style of my log driver. For he goes burling down the down white waters. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly, burling down the down white waters. The log driver's waltz pleases girls completely. Oh, when the drive's nearly over, I love to go down and watch all the men as they work on the river. For when the drive's over, they'll all be in town, and we all love to waltz with the log driver, for he goes burling down the down white waters. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly, burling down the down white waters. That log driver's waltz pleases girls completely. It's what happens when you think about how complete they please you. Now I've had my chances at all kinds of men, but none has the style of my man on the river. And when the drive's over, if he asks me again, I'm sure I shall marry my log driver, for he goes burling down the down white waters. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly, burling down the down white waters. The log driver's waltz pleases girls completely, for he goes burling down the down white waters. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly, burling down the down white waters. The log driver's waltz pleases girls completely. The log driver's waltz. I mean, where else do you have a song that has the word burling in it? I just love that, right. Burling down.
And to end the song with the word completely.
Completely.
Yeah, this is goofy as heck.
Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And that song is well, that log driver is one of the friends I've never met that will be on my new album, which you can pre-order.
She married somebody else, but he's really nice too.
Yeah, but he's a log driver too. That song is on my album, Old Songs I Never Met, Old Friends I Never Met, which is available at sallyrogers.com. And Claudia's albums are available at claudiaschmidt.com. You can find us there.
Along with our virtual tip jars.
Our virtual tip jars are there as well.
Our eternal virtual tip
jars.
Yes.
And thank you to all those who have come to my daily Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock. Song a Day Keeps us away on my live Facebook page. Thank you so much. And your continued support has made it much easier to get through this time.
And I thank you for visiting my Wednesday evening musicals, because the same is true of that. And it makes us feel less isolated and lonely, and I think it does the same for you.
Yep, thank you so much. Well, remember that introduction I started giving you a few minutes ago about Bill Harley? Well, this is the continuation thereof. Bill Harley has a new album coming out for grown-ups, and I'm sure that this song, which sort of jumped out at him, and he caught it, will be on that album. It's also on YouTube with a beautiful arrangement by Peter Amadon. And this song is called Elijah. It's named after Elijah McClain, who was killed by police last August, a year ago in August. He was a massage therapist. He was walking home, minding his own business, and the story is all too familiar. I don't need to tell you. But it was kind of buried until George Floyd got killed. It was. And people hadn't heard about it till George Floyd, and then this story came out, and Bill has made this wonderful tribute to him. He channeled grief. I think he did. Can you give us a note there? I would consider that, yeah. Wait, now that's D now. So. Yeah. That's it. Elijah, Elijah, a child of God, what have we done to you? What have we done? Elijah, Elijah, I say your name, so many others too, they all have names. Elijah, they say in other times, people could fly away, people could fly. Elijah, spread wide your gentle arms, rise o'er this troubled world, and fly away, and fly away. Elijah, oh Elijah, a child of God, what have we done to you? What will we do? What will we do?
This is a tune I wrote one day, waiting for Sally to show up for a rehearsal in Traverse City, Michigan. Staying with some friends who lived right on East Grand Traverse Bay, and it was a beautiful sunny day. And we both love Lake Michigan so much, and actually would have been traveling on Lake Michigan not so long ago on a tour in the Midwest. So nice. So this is a little tune called East Bay Waltz. is a mighty and tidal, dangerous dance. Its magic spins you round and round. Before you know it, your guard is down, and boy, you never saw it coming, though it was always close at hand. Eyes shut tight to the death of rights, and now you just can't understand. Every snowflake in the avalanche cries innocence. In the end, it's all just willful ignorance. Ooh, willful ignorance is bound to put you in a trance. Its charm is that you'll never see that your freedom was lost so easily. And boy, you never saw it coming, though it was always close at hand. Eyes shut tight to the death of rights, and now you just can't understand. Every snowflake in the avalanche cries innocence. In the end, it's all just willful ignorance. Willful ignorance is a very cushy circumstance. Its consequences are coming due, and it's bound to be a shock to you. And boy, you never saw it coming, though it was always close at hand. Eyes shut tight to the death of rights, and now you just can't understand. Every snowflake in the avalanche cries innocence. In the end, it's all just willful ignorance. And boy, you never saw it coming, though it was always close at hand. Eyes shut tight to the death of rights, and now you just can't understand. Every snowflake in the avalanche cries innocence. In the end, it's all just willful ignorance. Willful ignorance. Willful ignorance. Willful ignorance. That was one of those songs that just dropped out of thin air, like the song
Really?
did for Harley. I was on my way to a fundraiser for some people who were fighting the pipeline in North Dakota. I was in Minneapolis, and I actually wrote this song right before I left and played it for the first time, like reading it off a piece of paper. I had to get my friend hold the paper so I could read the words. That was where the song began. It had a purpose.
Yes, indeed. Well, it still has a purpose, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Sally has stumbled on a new tuning, which we're
Yeah,
going to work with.
wonder where that came
It's
from.
a brand new harmonic thing going on.
Ah, look at there.
Oh, here we go. We have a.
Oh, that's the problem. We have all kinds of
There.
paraphernalia here.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah.
So, yes, indeed. Now, are you playing on this one? I believe you are.
Oh, that's right, I am.
That's why I have to be in tune, otherwise I wouldn't care.
Now, that's not true.
Well, I wouldn't be as fussy, let's say. About that chocolate cake in the back room. You know, this is our opportunity to eat a whole entire chocolate cheesecake. We could have the whole thing because there's nobody else here.
Yeah, I'll pass on the grilled pastrami, Reuben for the chocolate cake.
Yeah.
And the clam chowder. I'll pass
Oh.
those both by for the chocolate
I
cake.
don't know. You know what I wouldn't pass by? Is the fish cakes. Brian's fish cakes. I would not. If there's
yeah.
fish cakes on the menu, I eat the fish cakes. It doesn't. I don't look any further. I just get those.
Yeah, no chocolate cake with fish cakes. That's like, you got one kind
No.
of cake or the other.
Yeah, you can't have chocolate fish cakes. No, I don't think so. I suppose there are those who would venture there, but not
Choose
me.
your cake and eat it too. It's all good. We got to work with that. So
Yeah.
let's see what we're doing here. That was a little. That was still a little flat. Your top string. Just.
Ah,
Yeah.
lovely. We want this to be in tune for our dear friend Kat Eggleston, Eggleston. You know, I always stop at her name. Our neighbors, when I grew up on the farm, the neighboring farm was the Eggleston farm, and it's the only time I've ever heard that name, except for Kat Eggleston. How about that? So
Kat's a wonderful musician who we met in Chicago. She lives on Vashon Island now, and
so she's dealing with the smoke.
Yeah, they're there. She's had a tough time. They haven't had fires on the island. I talked to her the other day, but they can't open windows. They can't hang out outside. So, I mean, we've noticed around here, I'm sure you have too, the haze in the sky and the weird sunsets and
orange sunsets.
the blue sky that isn't quite blue. And, yeah.
You know, it's like when when we had that volcano.
Yes.
It's very much like that, even now. And I mean, it just makes you realize how one world we are. You know, we're all totally connected. That air that we breathe goes all the way around the world.
Right.
Caesar
That's
breathed
right.
that air.
Yeah.
So, the days. I want to send this out to my daughters, both of them. Oh, sorry, let me start again. I thought of my daughters and my mind went whoop.
Yeah. Come back from Switzerland.
Yeah. And Nantucket. Monday morning you were born. Tuesday you were walking. Wednesday you had learned to talk. Showed no signs of stopping. Thursday, Friday I looked up and you were off and running. Where you go from here, I guess there's just no way of knowing. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening. Where you are, the spring has come and all the world is blooming. Summer brings the burning sun, for you know it's coming. Here I stand at harvest time, soon it will be snowing. When winter leaves hold blackbird leaves, it's then you'll hear me singing. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening. Maybe you'll grow big and strong, and maybe you'll be lucky. Hope and pray your days are long, and most of them are happy. Someday when you laugh or sing, or if you're sick or grieving, when at last you're old like me, it's then you'll hear me singing. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening.
The days.
The days. We're doing a bunch of songs. I keep saying, oh, I love that song. Oh, I love that song. I love that song.
Oh, I love that
Well, you know, one of the things that's happening for me over these COVID times is I'm not doing, many concerts except for these few that we've been doing
That's
together.
right.
And so I get to rediscover an awful lot of songs. On the song "A Day Keeps the Virus Away," actually, I'm discovering a lot of songs. And we're on day 108 today, so
Slogging away.
slog away and trying to find all kinds of new songs. Well,
Maybe you should start doing every other song a day keeps the virus away. Every third day keeps the virus.
No. I like the challenge. And this song was written by Joel Mabus, who's doing a similar kind of thing. He does, I think, once a week. He puts up a song, and a lot of them are new. He's been writing a lot. This song, Yes Truth, is from one of his earlier albums. I think the album may be even called Yes Truth. I'm not sure. But it has a wonderful chorus that you can join in on.
And Joel has a way of writing songs that sound like they're hundreds of years old, or in this case, taking the idea of a hymn. He really understands the structure of a hymn and
its purpose.
And its purpose, and sort of reworks it to this moment in time. It's powerful, very powerful.
So. Through all the lying voices shouting in our ears, growing louder every hour, stronger every year, drowning out reality with hateful lies and fear, yet truth goes marching on. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Yes, truth goes marching on. My eyes have seen destruction, no more can I afford, of the fire and the lightning and the terrible swift sword. There's poison in the well where the sweetest water flowed, yet truth goes marching on. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Yes, truth goes marching on. When the speeches all are spoken and the prayers all are prayed, when the eulogies delivered and the canticles are prayed, when the last deserving martyr lies moldering in the grave, yet truth goes marching on. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Yes, truth goes marching on. People cannot listen to those words they cannot hear. The truth is all around us, it's floating in the air. And if you listen closely, you can hear it everywhere. Yes, truth goes marching on. Here we go. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. won't you join us? Come, my sisters, won't you join us? Come on, you good people, won't you join us? Yes, truth goes marching on. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Yes, truth goes marching on.
Yeah, Joel.
Thanks, Joel.
Well, we're coming full circle here, Sally.
Oh, geez, we're at the end, huh?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we want to thank the Vanilla Bean again for inviting us to be on their roster. And
Yeah.
we'd say, well, after we're done, feel free to purchase a beverage or something to
A
eat.
dessert,
A dessert, yeah.
a sandwich, a lovely entree. But they do have they're open. Their
open.
hours are posted. You go to vanillabeancafe.com.
Right.
And it has all the hours and and the calendar of other musicians who are
Right.
doing concerts.
And they serve outside, but they also serve inside in a socially distanced manner. The tables are all spread way, way apart. And there aren't as many as there used to be.
And thank you for 30 years, Vanilla Bean
Amen.
Cafe, of being here.
May
And-
you live 30 more on Route 169, 44, and 97, right there at that corner.
Right there, that magic triangle.
That's right.
Okay. Well, this is another pamphlet-based song, actually. I mean, the poem wasn't written in pamphlet. It was written by a Swiss philosopher named Henri Frédéric Amiel in the 1800s. But it shows up in a lot of lofty places, and it happens to be on the wall at Clark Chapel on the Pomfret School campus. And we saw it one day. And I came home, my friend who was visiting wrote it on our blackboard. We live in an old schoolhouse, and the words were there for a few months. We looked at them all the time because they're so beautiful. And one day, a little melody joined the experience of reading the words in sort of magical form. I must have had you in mind when I was writing it, because clearly it wasn't meant for one person to sing. It had to be at least two and preferably three or more. So
Luckily, I live right around the corner.
that's right. So we want to wind up with this song. And I want to just say the words because we'll sing it through a couple times so that you can sing it with us and we can build on it. Dear friends, we know that life is short and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel with us. So, be swift to love, make haste to be kind. And I was just remembering
Yes,
that we
me
want
too. We want to dedicate this song tonight to the memory of our dear friend Helen Kivnick, who passed away last week and after a long fight with cancer, and she left the world definitely a better place.
really embodies these words
Yep,
so much
totally.
in her. So Helen, this is especially for you.
Dear friends, we know that life is short and we do not have much time. Much time.
Much time.
Much time.
Much time.
Much time.
To gladden the
Gladden the
hearts of those who travel with us. So be swift,
Be swift
to love.
to love.
So be swift,
Be swift
to love.
to love.
Make haste to be kind. Here we go. Dear friends, we know that life is short and we do not have much time. Much time.
Much time.
Much time.
Much time.
To gladden the hearts of those who travel with us. So be swift.
Be swift
To love,
love.
so be swift
Be swift
to love, make haste Thank you so much. Thank you, Sally Rogers.
Thank you, Claudia Schmidt.
Don't touch me.
I won't. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, thanks for that.
Well, another pandemic inspiration
Yes, indeed.
happened shortly after I was gifted. We were gifted, Mark and I were gifted
By me.
a bidet.
Yes, actually.
During the great toilet paper shortage of early 2020. And so suddenly we were seeing ads for these all over Facebook and stuff. They had a roaring business going on.
I hadn't realized that.
Oh yeah. So, but I'd always wanted one anyway. I'd been exposed to them when I traveled in Europe, and so I was very happy with my bidet.
And we thank Maya for this.
Oh, that's right.
It originated with her.
Yeah.
It was a gift.
So it was another kind of fever dream thing. I sort of.
Oh my God, this really was a fever dream.
It really was. I woke up and had this whole thing going on in my head, and so I wrote the words down, and Mark and I got together and did this wild video with
Which is on your Facebook page.
It's on my Facebook page, and it's at my
At your
it's at my
website.
website. If you go to my videos, you'll find Bideo, and we did a wild. We had a whole band together, and I sort of lip synced, and we did it in front of my shower curtain, and because it just had to happen. It's like I wrote, and like less than a day later, we had it up there. It was just one of those. It really was like a fever. But we're going to do it for you now because it's got a great chorus, and you'll recognize the tune right away. Bideo, Bideo, time has come and me got to go now. Bideo, bidet, my bidet, my bidet, my bidet, my bideo. Time has come and me got to go now. Having a bidet is a pertinent issue. Time has come and me got to go now. Save me from hoarding too much toilet tissue. Time has come and me got to go now. It will provide some hygienic traction. Time has come and me got to go now. Clean as a whistle after peristaltic action. Time has come and me got to go now. Put my money right in the bank. Time has come and me got to go now. Instead of pumping out my septic tank. Time has come and me got to go now. Bideo, Bideo. Time has come and me got to go now. Bideo, bidet, my bidet, my bidet, my bidet, my bideo. Time has come and me got to go now.
Fancy ones with dryers and multiple sprayers.
Time has come and me got to go now.
One simple nozzle is the answer to our prayers.
Time has come
and me got to go now. Hey, Mr. Tallyman, see my usage dwindle.
Time has come and me got to go now.
Whole paper roll instead of empty spindle.
Time has come and me got to go now. 1 spritz, 2 spritz, 3 spritz, 4. Time has come and me got to go now. Rinse off the nozzle and she's ready for more. Time has come and me got to go now. Bideo, Bideo. Time has come and me got to go now. Bideo, bidet, my bidet, my bidet, my bidet, my bideo. Time has come and me got to go now.
We gotta go! We gotta go! Thanks again. Have a great fall. That was fun.
Yeah.